Of it right now, the publishing and real estate mogul. All right, Mort, you heard this. We were going to talk about different things. We've got this news to go on. You're surprised?
Yes, I am genuinely surprised. I thought he had an excellent chance to gain the nomination and an excellent chance to become the next president. He has a whole coterie of friends who support him, who've worked with him, and there's a wonderful quality to the man that I think would have come through in his speaking and in his campaigning that would have made it a very, very, very strong, made him a very strong candidate. So whatever, we don't know, of course, at this stage of the game, whatever the personal factors were that caused him to make this decision, you have to respect them. But he is a wonderful man, and so he was, and has been a great public servant. So I'm really sad that he's not, in a sense, throwing his hat in to go after the presidency.
Do you think others do, though? I mean, I just had a Biden backer who was saying, it isn't too late for some, outside the box, a big party luminary, maybe not a party luminary, to emerge. I mentioned Al Gore, I mentioned John Kerry, he's dismissed that, but you've heard the names. Howard Schultz, Starbucks, I think a little goofy, but you never know. But what do you think of that?
Listen, you have, in this day and age, almost anything is possible. If you have somebody who is sort of known but not really well known by the public, there's going to be a very, very fast coverage of him by the media, and if he comes through or she comes through in the right ways, they'll have a real chance at it, and then they'll be in a campaign, state by state, they'll be campaigning against the vice president, then whoever the other candidates are. And somebody's going to have to raise an awful lot of money in a short period of time to run an effective campaign. That's quite daunting for people who are sort of thinking about it today.
But it's not daunting if you think about it, Mort, if you're a billionaire. I mean, Michael Bloomberg comes to mind. He's been teasing, or maybe having his people tease, the prospect that he could run. First, I was told that for the Democratic nomination, the other more bandied possibility is that he runs as an independent, but that you need someone of that sort of financial heft to challenge. What do you make of that?
Well, I think he was an outstanding mayor of New York City. And he had a record there that, frankly, will sell all over the country. I'm proud to say that the newspaper that endorsed him the first time on the Sunday before the election, on the day of the election, was the New York Daily News, and it brought him a big amount of support in that campaign. And he has a terrific record, not just of running the city well, but a record of leadership. So he would be somebody, I would think, if he was interested, who really would have a chance to do it, and he may do it, so because he has a record.
I'm sorry, my friend, but in other words, you think that this is not put to bed, the challenges to Hillary. If anything, it might prompt others.
Yes, I mean, but there are very few people who, in a sense, have the platform and the accomplishments to this date who can now jump into what is going to be a very tough race. So I think it's certainly going to be somebody like Mike Bloomberg. There aren't too many people like that in the country.
Well, there's this guy Mort Zuckerman, but he doesn't. He's cheap. He doesn't want to. He wants to spend his money.
I'm going to do it on an alphabetical basis. I'll let you know when.
Mort, the other thing that comes to mind, the effect of the email controversy, the Benghazi controversy. I'm sure that was something Joe Biden and his people were weighing. We're told among a small nucleus of people, maybe half a dozen, who knew of this decision going in to the Rose Garden announcement today. And they felt that these were not damaging enough to Hillary to cost her the nomination, which might well be the case. With the base, she still remains popular, and she has sort of pivoted to the idea that these are all politics. But with the general electorate, I don't know if that's quite the case. When independents were polled on this subject, 40% of them thought there was great substance to them and that they were well worth the investigation. So do you think in bowing out, it might clear the road of potential hurdles for her within the party, but outside the party, with the general electorate, it could be a problem?
Well, I think there is a lot to that, but on the other hand, there always is another hand. She will be the first woman nominated by any party to compete for the presidency, and she will attract millions and millions of women to support her who might not otherwise voted. So I think she's got another, shall we say, unique advantage as a candidate going into the election.
Just because she's a female?
Yeah. Look, she'd be the first female president of the United States, the first female nominated by either of the parties
True.
to run for the presidency.
But you know, you're also a good read of the globe, and it turns out that the most noteworthy female leaders we've had have been, you know, conservative. Margaret Thatcher. We could talk about Angela Merkel in Germany. The fact is, when we do see women emerge to the top spot, more often than not, they're conservative.
Yes, I think that is the case, but I wouldn't call her, shall we say, a conservative, but I also wouldn't call her, you know, a wild-eyed liberal. I think she's a
both
very
sides say she's phony because we don't don't she is, but she's being very pragmatic.
Well, that's possible. I mean, I've never known a politician to be pragmatic, you know. That never happens, okay? But look, I think she's a remarkable lady. And I think, as I say, there'll be millions and millions of women who will come out to vote for her simply because of that reason and because she has the qualifications for the job.
Okay. Mort Zuckerman, in case it does get to Z in the alphabet and you're still interested, please announce on this show. We appreciate it.
Changing my name to Zuckerman, spelled with 2 A's, in case there's a better chance.
All right, Mort, always good having you, my friend. Mort Zuckerman.